The Knockem Dead Comedy Radio Show also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. So call Two Eagles Auto Body and ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527.
Okay. Okay, we'll just do that for now.
Hey, how do you say there, people? It's Johnny Brennan, creator of the Jerky Boys, also of Fox TV's Family Guy fame. I just want to let you know you're listening to Tony and Sally on the Knockem Dead radio show. They're going to keep knocking them dead, so keep listening, you wacky sons of bitch. Right there. Over and out there, sweet Charlie.
Little roller up along first, behind the bag, it gets through Buckner, here comes Knight, and the Mets win it!
Hello, Tony. Mookie Wilson here, 1986 Mets. How you doing? Long time no see, man. Hey, man, I miss you guys, man, that Knockem Dead Comedy Radio, man. I miss you. I wish I was still up there, man. But I'll wait till it warm up a little bit, and hopefully this year things will be a little bit better, man. But when we're talking about comedy, hey, the early years of Mets was a lot to laugh about. You had to make a lot of comedy off those guys. Hey, hope to see you guys during the summer, and hopefully you'll get back on the show, man, at some point in time during the course of the year, all right? All right? Yeah, fine. Contact me, man. All right, Tony. Talk to you later.
Hi, everybody. It is Friday. Yay, it's Friday. The weekend is here. Welcome to the Knockem Dead Comedy Podcast, coming at you live from the legendary Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown, where you will see Carlos Mencia this weekend. Go to govs.com. There's a whole bunch of great shows playing at their clubs this weekend, just like the Uncle Louie Variety Show playing tonight at McGuire's out east in Bohemia. Go to govs.com. Lots of great shows coming your way. And guess what? Carlos Mencia will be on this show. He's calling in, I don't know, around 12:30. The Uncle Louie Variety Show, they're calling around 11:30 somewhere. But who knows? These guys do whatever they want. All these big comedy shows, these big celebrities, they do whatever they want. So who knows when they're calling and zooming and calling and doing all that stuff. But it's going to be great. Looking forward to talking to all those guys. It's going to be a fun day. It's going to be a little nutty. I think I've mentioned to you guys that I have new software that we're working with here. So it's the first time I'm using the Zoom on the Twitch with the new software. Everything is the new software on the Twitch with the Zoom. So hopefully everything works well. We'll see how it goes. Bear with me. Good morning, Joan Asher. She says hi to Frank. Frank's here.
Hey, Joan. Good morning.
You all right?
Good morning to you.
What was that?
Good morning.
Hi, Joan.
Hi.
Hi. Good morning, Joan. Good to see you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this morning. Please, right there above my head, please like and share the show and share the link all over the place. Just share it everywhere as we try to build up this Twitch channel and try to gain more exposure. Gain more exposure? Get more exposure. I don't know. Do stuff as we try to do stuff. So thank you, Joan, for watching. Thank you, everybody, for watching this morning. Again, very excited. We have Carlos Mencia. We have the Uncle Louie Variety Show. Some cool stuff going on. And Frank's here. I'm not even going to talk about that shirt. What's with the Michael Jackson gloves?
I have carpal tunnel. And,
Both hands?
Yeah. Left worse than the right.
How does that even happen? How does one get carpal tunnel?
Computer use with the mouse. I'm also a guitar player, so it's probably a combination of the two.
Oh, a guitar player can get carpal tunnel?
Oh, big time. Actually, when I went to the doctor, I said, "Do you get a lot of guitar players?" He says, "Yeah."
Really?
Why? I said, "Well, I'm one of them."
Wow.
So,
I did not know that.
Yep.
They have shoulder trouble too, right? Because the strap?
It can be, yeah, depending what kind of...
Well, yeah, because some guitars are pretty heavy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So...
And you're not even playing right now because of this?
No, exactly. I haven't been able to play for about a year.
Really? A year?
Yeah.
Well, why? But why can't... Don't people just get some kind of surgery or something? Like, why you...
Well, I'm looking into that. They gave me a couple injections last week.
Yeah.
2 injections at the base of the fingers.
Yeah.
To relieve the pain, relieve the tension. And it seemed to help quite a bit. But these gloves are copper fit gloves, and they just keep the swelling down. So I wear these too.
All right. So you didn't answer my question. Why not? Why aren't you just getting surgery like everybody else? I don't see anybody else doing this.
Well, they're looking to see if injections will work first.
Well, it's been a year. So I think it's safe to say it hasn't worked.
Well, I just got the injections last week.
What have you been doing for the past year?
Sitting at home. Not really playing much.
All right. So after a year, you're not like, can we just get the surgery and get this over with?
Well, I had to get it looked at first to see if I'm eligible for it.
Eligible? Oh, what,
Yeah.
Insurance?
I guess insurance and just to see if it's necessary. So,
It's been a year.
this is what they're telling me. So
Who's they?
the doctor.
Mom says so proud. Of what? Of his carpal tunnel? What the hell are you talking about? I'm already confused. I have carpal tunnel for a year. So proud. That's my boy. Carpal tunnel.
Was he under Tony's mom? Is that what it says?
Well, yeah, I Tony's mom Ann, it says. I'm the one that set up her Twitch, so I just wrote that. Tony's mom Ann. Because that's her name.
I got you.
Ann. Yeah.
Tony's mom, man.
Yeah, that's the full name, yeah. They call her Ann for short, but it was actually, she was born, they named her Tony's mom Ann. Tony's mom Ann. All right, that's all I got.
Yeah.
Really? So it's been a year since you've played guitar?
It's been, I play a little bit here or there at home, but not a lot because it was just too painful. And
that hand hurts more when you play?
yeah, this hand.
The hand that's doing the chords and the notes?
Yeah, it's busier. Then this is just a strumming hand, so it's not as much.
Yeah, but I didn't know if the strumming action made it worse or something.
No, because this one's more active.
Right.
with the guitar. So
Wow.
yeah, it's been fun.
All right. So so sitting home doing what? What do you do for a year?
Well,
Jeez, that's
I've
crazy.
actually been recording. I'm able to use. I have a keyboard at home, so I'm able to use the keyboard without much problem. So I've been playing keyboard a bit, recording some stuff at home, recording stuff for other people,
Oh, all right. So you are a little active.
keeping active at home. Yeah.
All right. Look and see what I got here.
Okay.
So all right. So we're getting excited. Today's the big day, not just on our show, but for everybody, because the Mets first game tonight of the postseason.
Yeah.
Very excited. All right, and we need your help here, because just as we were about to go on the air, Frank said that the Mets have made the wild card because they unfortunately did not keep their lead in their division, so they made the wild card. Frank is saying they only have to win 2 games. I'm saying they have to win 3.
All I heard on the news was that they were saying they have to play tonight and tomorrow, and if necessary, on Sunday. So I don't know.
If they win 2 tonight and tomorrow, then they wouldn't. Is that what they're saying? Then they would win and they wouldn't have to play Sunday.
Oh, 2 out of 3 is what they're saying.
I guess, but I thought the wild card was 5,
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
and then the division and the World Series. Well, the National League, the league pennant and then the World Series, I thought were 7 each.
Right.
Am I missing something? I don't know. So some of you guys fill us in here.
So if they win whatever the total is, if they win 2, say, out of 3, what happens next?
Then they go to the pennant,
Okay.
the National League. Wait a minute. Am I skipping? All right. Why am I all confused today? You got the wild card, and then 2 other National Leagues. Right. So then the winner would be the National League pennant. Yeah, I got that
Okay.
right. And then the World Series. So I would swear it was 5. And then the pennant and then the World Series were 7 each. I don't know.
I'll see if I can look it up.
Yeah, all right. Oh, good. Why? Oh, you should have done that before.
I did. Just thought of it before the show went on.
So I would say it's safe to say we're lifelong Met fans.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I did follow the Yankees a bit in the 70s. I remember that, but because the Mets were just awful. But I was young and I was little in the 70s. But yeah, I would say since I really got into baseball and took it seriously, yeah, I've been a Met fan. And we've been, so what does it say?
I'm still looking.
Oh, wait.
I'm still trying to find the answer to it. There's a lot of babble first.
Well, these are scores, aren't they?
Yeah, I might have put the wrong thing up. All right, wild card. Trying to find an explanation of the wild card. MLB wild card. All right, hold on. Let's see. All right, best of 3.
It is best of 3.
Yep.
Wow.
So that's why if they win tonight and tomorrow, then Sunday's not necessary.
You have your wild card, and they play because there's 3 divisions. That's why you have the wild card. And did they change the pennant race to 5? And then the World Series is 7? Wow, how did I not know this?
Let me look that up and see. Pennant.
While he's looking stuff up, I'll make announcements here. Don't forget, lots of cool stuff coming your way here at Govs. Don't forget November 18th, Hershey and the Keegs doing a live show in the Giggle Room. Carla Okerson, Tom McGuire, Fat Jay, and more. That's going to be a great show. Don't miss that. Don't forget Jeff Bosey and Rich Rada. They're doing a No Rhyme, No Reason live show in the Giggle Room November 5th Don't forget Knockem Dead Comedy. We're doing our 80s themed murder mystery on Friday, October 28th. That's just in time for Halloween. So you got a costume party, wear your 80s outfits or any costume, and murder. Two great things on Halloween. So that's Knockem Dead Comedy, October 28th. Knockem Dead Comedy's got a bunch of shows coming your way in October, November. So check out the website, knockemdeadcomedy.com. As we told you the other day, Comic Sans is having its release, a private screening, on Wednesday, November 16th. Winner of Best Script at the Tokyo International Film Festival just last week, Comic Sans, starring Don Sill, who also wrote and directed it, Eric Haft, Austin Brooks, myself, Joey Petroni, Sherry Poland, Jeff Bosey, Angie Pajanos, Carrie Karavis, and Joey Cola. My son Zach was assistant director. Lots of great people behind the scenes. That's going to be great. Invitation only, but we've been giving out some screening invites here on this show, and we got more coming your way. So stay tuned for that. We're very excited about that. It's going to be great. I think everybody's going to love it. So that's Wednesday, November 16th. Okay. Once again, we are awaiting. We got the Uncle Louie Variety Show zooming in shortly. Carlos Mencia should be calling in probably like an hour or so. So we got a lot going on today. So, all right. Did you figure it out?
Yes. It's best of 7. It used to be best of 5.
Wild card used to be best of 5.
No, Pennant. Pennant was best of 5 until 1985, and then it became best of 7.
Really?
That's what it says.
But it's still that way.
Yeah, it's 7 now, yeah.
So why is wild card only 3?
I don't know. Isn't that as important as the regular division race?
Sure it is. Yeah, that's weird. I don't get it. So anyway, we're lifelong Met fans, and we've been to a lot of games. Mm-hmm. What are some of your most memorable Met games? Games that you actually attended?
The first one I remember going to was, I think, 73.
Your very first Met game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Seaver pitched. Complete game.
73. You were 6?
Yes.
You remember that?
I remember going to that, yeah.
You remember seeing Seaver pitch?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Who'd they play?
Expos.
Wow.
Won complete game, 7-0 they won.
Wow. You remember that? Or
I
you
don't
didn't
know
look?
why.
Oh
Yeah, but I remember it.
Did Gary Carter play?
I don't know. I only remember Seaver for some reason. That's it.
I think he was already playing on the Expos at that time.
I remember Rusty, too, but that's about it.
Oh, Rusty was Expos or Mets?
I'm pretty sure Mets.
75.
My timeline right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
73?
I think so. Yeah, that because he was there in 70. Oh yeah, 73. Yes, he was there. Yeah, because that's the year the Mets made the playoffs. Made the World Series that year.
Right.
And yeah, Rusty was there for that. Okay. Wow. All right. What else?
Let's see. Games I went to.
I didn't know this would be such a hard question.
No, I'm just remembering. We went to see Bob Apodaca pitch.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Well, I remember. Yeah, we had an uncle who kind of knew him.
Right.
And we went. Oh yeah, I remember this game. Yeah, our aunt refused to stand up for the national anthem. I remember that.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. And wouldn't even take off her hat. She wouldn't stand or take off her hat for the national anthem. Yeah, I remember that. I remember so that was, what year is this? 77, I think.
Probably, yeah.
I remember dragging our uncle to the bathroom because I had to go.
That's why I'm laughing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because Bob Apodaca was facing Dave Kingman, who was not a Met at the time. He was, I think it was San Diego, who the Mets are playing tonight, actually.
Right.
And Kingman, he was at the height of his. I mean, he was a monster for several years. I mean, it seemed like every time the guy hit, it was a home run.
Right.
So it was a big deal. And I made him take me to the bathroom. So we missed Bob Apodaca striking out Kingman. Yeah, I remember that.
Place went nuts.
Yep,
Came
we heard
back.
it.
What happened? I'm like, Dave Kingman struck out from Apodaca.
Yep.
He was.
We heard the crowd screaming from the bathroom, and he was, "Come on!" But then, do you remember after the game?
Oh, going home.
We were driving home. So our uncle, he worked what? He worked at a bank, and he was a bank teller, and Bob Apodaca was just
client, I think, or something like that.
well, it's just I thought he was just a customer that came into the bank. Yeah.
Right.
Hello, Carol Miner. Yeah, so they didn't really know each other, but our uncle said that if Bob Apodaca would see him, like bumped into him somewhere, he would know him.
Right.
Like they got to talking here at work. So we were driving home from the game, and total coincidence, but there's Bob Apodaca on the parkway, driving right in the lane next to us,
Right.
on the passenger side. So our aunt
Woke up.
well, yeah, but it was just so weird. She was screaming at him, like she was frantic, like waving, like instead of just saying, instead of like, or just moving out of the way so Bob Apodaca can see our uncle's face.
Right.
She was screaming to him that
He's screaming his name.
but
Uncle's name.
But I guess he couldn't hear her because they're driving and whatnot. I'll never forget. He's just driving. He's just doing one of these.
I think he did a quick wave, like, hi, how you doing?
Yeah, but
Who are
we
you?
stayed. Yeah, but and she kept yelling at him. And he's just like he didn't get like freaked out or he didn't tell her to shut up. He's just staring at her as he's driving.
You're a crazed fan.
I mean, he was a low key guy anyway.
Yeah.
Became pitching coach for the Mets for a few years.
Right.
Not really. Like he's not down in history as like this great pitcher. He was all right. He was all right, but he's not. Yeah, but he's not this like big, tremendous pitcher that everybody remembers. But yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, that was funny. And I seem to remember around that time, I'm pretty sure the Mets did like a meet and greet at, I think it was Roosevelt Field Mall. I could be wrong.
Yeah.
And they were they were all scattered around different tables at the mall.
We went?
I'm pretty sure I know, at least I went. I'm pretty sure we both did.
Oh, they were like two at a table, but they were scattered.
They were scattered throughout the whole
Oh
mall.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
But it was old. It wasn't current Mets.
Well, Apodaca was one of them.
I don't remember that.
It was Torrey. I remember Pictatano was there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But I'm pretty sure Apodaca was there because the memory I have, when I could be wrong, is that I went up to him, and I was like maybe 8, 9 years old at this point.
Yeah.
And I mentioned our uncle to him.
Oh, did you?
And
This I don't remember.
And again, I could not be remembering this right, but I remember him saying to me, "Were you the one that was just in the hospital recently?" I was like, "Yeah." "Oh, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Hey, how you feeling?"
Really?
I think
that's
what I remember.
Yeah, I think you're dreaming. I don't think this whole thing ever happened.
I don't know. But
I think John Matlack was there.
Yeah, probably.
And I think was Grody there?
I think so.
All right, so it wasn't old Mets. It was current.
Yeah, it was mid-70s Mets. Probably.
Yeah. And Torrey was there? We met Joe Torrey?
I think we did. I'm pretty sure he was there.
Wow. Right. Yeah, I barely remember that.
But, yeah, that's as much as I remember.
That's it?
Of that, yeah.
Oh, of that.
Of that. Oh, then we went to a bunch of 86 games.
No. No.
No?
No. I only went to 3 games in 86.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Because we went with our friend from school. And it wasn't a lot of games? I thought it was a lot of games. Was that the year that you snuck into Carter's?
Our friend from school, you mean Rob?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, no, I only went to 3 games in 86. 87, 85 and 87, I went double digits games. But in 86, the year they won, I barely went at all. No, the thing with Carter was 87.
87.
But you weren't there for that.
Not for that one, but I was there. I was there for one where we saw a couple players come out. I think Santana came out, and Hojo got mad at you.
Yes. All right. Well, yeah. All right. So I'll backtrack. So, and I've told this before on here. The old days of Shea Stadium, they had in the back of the stadium, the players would park their cars, and it was kind of like part of the stadium. It was all like gated off. There were these 2 giant big gates that they would roll open so cars and buses can come through. The right field side was the gate that they used, and then the left field gate was always locked. It was always chained up and locked. They never used it, and so all the fans, all the weird fans, would stay outside the right field gate and try to see players and whatnot. Excuse me. So in '87, I'm 17. We're walking. We're just walking. And we walk right past this left field gate that they never used. The chain is there, but there's no lock. Like, it was like a key lock, key lock or a combination lock, whatever it was. But either way, there was no lock on it. The chain, it was wrapped around the fence, but no lock. And so I just stopped and I looked at it. I'm kind of doing one of these, like, this is so weird that this thing isn't locked.
Right. No security.
So, yeah, our buddy Rob Saforth, who, we were super close to, still am. It was me, him, and our friend Desiree. She was with us. And I turned to him. I said, that gate's open. But I almost was looking for them to verify because I couldn't believe it. It just seemed so weird to me that this thing wouldn't be locked. So they're like, yeah, holy crap, that's open. I said, I'm going in. And Rob is the most normal person you'll ever, the straightest guy. Like, no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, right.
Crazy. and I don't mean that in a bad way. He's just he's a straight guy. He doesn't mess around. Right. So he stayed behind. Desiree wouldn't come either. They just stayed behind. I undid it. I undid the chain and I went in. But once I was in, I'm thinking to myself, all right, now what? I don't know where to go, what to do. Somebody's going to tackle me. So I'm looking, and the Mets, so obviously it was a home game, and they were home again the next day. So I knew they weren't traveling. So it was all, so there were a bunch of cars in the lot, and a lot of the players had left at this point. But we didn't see Mookie. And I had no idea if he was still there or not, and he was and still is my favorite Met of all time. So I was like, screw it, I'm going to sit here, because there were 2 cars left in the parking lot. And so I figured, all right, I'm going to stay in case one of them's Mookie. So I just hid behind a dumpster. And I'm waiting, and I think, if I remember right, the first car out of the 2, I think it was Ron Darling. I think.
Okay.
Don't hold me to it, but I think it was him, so I was like, I don't want to meet him. Well, not that I wouldn't want to meet him, but I was going to hold out for Mookie. So he's gone. So there's 1 car left, but it's not Mookie. It's probably my second favorite player at the time, Gary Carter. Mm-hmm. I'm like, holy moly. I'm like, all right, not Mookie, but this is pretty damn good. He gets in the car, windows are closed, he starts it up, and there I am, knocking on the window. He does one of these. Yeah. He rolls down the window, and I asked him for an autograph. He signed it. He didn't say a word, like, where'd you come from? Nothing. He just signed it. And then right after he signed it, I mean, this is all out of a movie, the way all this worked. But sure enough, I get the autograph. Now people are realizing that the gate's open. Some people start running in. Now security's coming. Nobody gets to Carter. I have my autograph. I just hightail it out. And that's it. That was the end of it. Couldn't believe it. It was the craziest thing. So the next time we went to a game, of course, the game's over. The first thing I do, I run to that gate again. Sure enough, it's locked. They actually have a lock on it. But
your face on the camera.
Well, right. I mean, now it would be, because what happened was I was disappointed that the lock was there, and Rob was with me, and I don't know if you were there or maybe it's just me and Rob, but which thinking back, like some of the stupid, I'm sure a lot of us do that. You think back to stupid stuff you've done as a kid. I climbed the fence.
I was there.
You were there for that?
Yeah.
I climbed the fence, and I didn't get caught. And I jumped in, and I did the same thing and waited for, people to, for players and Mookie and whoever. And I didn't see Mookie again, but I saw Carter again. And I didn't ask for an autograph. I just shook his hand. And then I ran back and hopped the fence to leave. It didn't get caught.
Did you hurt your leg coming back, either going in or coming out? I don't know if you cut your leg or something.
Oh, you're right. I did cut it on something. I don't remember on what. Maybe on the top of the fence. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I think it did. But yes, and then I pissed off Howard Johnson too.
We got to talk about that. That's what I remember.
We never, and it's still the case today. Leaving a ball game is a disaster. It takes forever. So we used to stay. I mean, we were young. I was late teens. You were late teens, early 20s, and Rob's same age as you. So we didn't have families or any big giant responsibilities. So we would stay, because what's the point of sitting in all that traffic? Right. So we would stay and just hang out and watch players leave. But we weren't like those crazy fanatic fans that had to get to the front, would be screaming. We would just hang back and just kind of hang out and watch weird stuff or make fun of things. But there was one day, and I don't know what I was thinking. Howard Johnson comes out driving some kind of like a sports car, like a Mazda, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And he's driving, and I don't know what, I jump I jumped towards his car, like physically jumped to like get on his car. And I missed, but my right arm caught the antenna, and it bent.
Bent it. Yep.
He slams on his brakes. He gets out of the car. People start running to him like they're all excited to see him. He puts his hands up, and he goes, "No!" He just yells, "No!" So, and everybody did. They stopped. He starts messing with the antenna. He straightened it out as best he could. I think I don't think he saw me or looked at me in the eye, if I remember right, but he looked towards us. And I think he cursed at us because he was upset about the antenna.
Yeah.
And then he got back in the car and took off.
Yeah.
And then there was another time. Were you there for Richard Nixon?
No.
You weren't there for Nixon. See, we should get Rob on the phone or something because he's the only one that can verify this because he was there. And I tell this story every time I tell the story. Nobody believes me. We left it was a night game. We left the stadium, but Shea had, for like important people, they had parking spots right up against the stadium. Mm-hmm. Richard Nixon was sitting in a Mercedes, and he's just sitting in it by himself. There's Secret Service circled around the car. He's sitting in the car by himself. I don't know if he's waiting for a driver. I don't know what's going on. I forget if there was anybody else in the car with him. But he's just sitting there at the window looking out. I walked right in between two Secret Service guys, went right up to the window, just like, and he looked at me and just nodded his head, gave me one of these. Just looked at me.
I remember that.
You do remember that?
I think so. Yeah, I think I remember.
And then I just turned around and walked away.
Again, today you'd be pummeled for it.
Oh, absolutely. But it would be viral, and I'd be on TV.
Yeah, it's true too.
But it's. I have no explanation for some of the stupid things I've done. But
do you remember the Joe Garagiola?
Yes.
What do you remember that?
Joe, well, he not a nice man.
Right.
Didn't come across like a nice man when he used to do the baseball Saturday baseball on NBC. Him and Vin Scully.
Right.
They were awful. Used to hate them. It was. In fact, I think that's why he was there. He was doing the game that day.
Right.
The game was over. People were trying to get his autograph, and there were some little kids trying to get his autograph.
Right.
He cursed at them, and then pulled out these packs of because it was NBC he was working for at the time. These bad NBC baseball cards that they made up with printed autograph.
Right.
And he just goes like this, just throws them up in the air so they all scatter. So everybody goes running for these baseball cards, and he just keeps walking.
He said something like, "I gotta get to my effing car" or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remember him cursing at them. I think it was something. I gotta get to my effing car.
I remember him cursing at them. I don't remember exactly what he said, but yeah. And yeah, that turned me off till the day that man died. Yeah, no. I don't have anything nice to say about that man. I thought that was awful. Because they were little kids. Mm-hmm. It wasn't teenagers. It wasn't people in their 20s. It was little kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Elementary school age, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And then we went another time. Pedro Guerrero, a major league player. He was a good hitter. He played the Dodgers. He got around a little bit. Mm-hmm. You remember we were standing right there, and right there, and he got into an argument with a fan who was trying to get an autograph, and they were face to face. They were going to go to blows, and we were standing right there. We had to kind of take a few steps back because we were afraid of getting caught in it. You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah,
that was 87 also.
I have no idea. No. Oh, all this we're talking about was 87?
No, I just.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm just talking about different things we've done.
Actually, the Garagiola thing might have been. I think it was 87.
Yeah,
or around that time.
I'm actually surprised because. When I'm asking you for your Mets memories, I thought for sure you would say 98. We went to the Met game for your birthday, and it was Mike Piazza's first game as a Met.
Right.
We just happened to have tickets because we were going for your birthday.
Yeah.
And it was Piazza's first game as a Met.
And that was like a last-minute thing, him being there, right? He wasn't supposed to be.
What do you mean? He just got.
Didn't he just get there after the game started or something?
No, I don't think so. No, he was traded a day or two before, and then he got there.
Because I thought I saw something recently where they were saying that
unless it was
he had just gotten there as the game started, he took his coat off and he basically went up to bat, kind of a thing.
Oh, I don't know, maybe. I mean, he was there at the start of the game. He was in the starting lineup.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you made it just in time, I'm not aware of that.
Yeah.
Hello, Andrew Fremder. Nice to see you. Whoa. Yeah, so that was the first thing I thought you were going to pick out. But
You know, I went back farther.
yeah, 87, yeah, that was a good year. But
No, I think you were with me. I think it was early '90s when some of the Mets played WBAB in the softball game.
I was there. We didn't go together. I remember getting there separately, and I remember I left early for whatever reason. Yeah, it was the '69 Mets versus BA. No, it wasn't versus BAB. It was versus a fire department in a charity softball game.
Will BAB sponsored it? I thought they were
Yeah,
playing
BAB had something to do with it. No, they weren't playing in it.
Oh, I thought they were. Okay.
No, it was I want to say Huntington, wasn't it? It was a fire department. It was some kind of charity thing. And there's three things I remember from that game. One, I remember Tommy Agee, who played for the Mets. He was on the '69 team that won the World Series. After he had stopped playing baseball, this man blew up. He was big. We go to this charity game. He had just like a year prior lost all that weight, and he was down to nothing. And he played, and he was running those bases like the man could still get on a major league field.
Right.
And then it was only like a year or two later he died from,
Right.
I think, a heart attack or something. But that blew me away because as a guy who wasn't even born yet when they won the World Series in '69, I would only know this big fat guy in interviews. So to see him hustling and playing, that blew me away.
Right.
Actually, there's four things I remember. So that's one. The second was Ed Kranepool playing first base. Somebody on the other team hits the ball, running to first. Kranepool is stepping on the bag. He's taking the throw, and this guy barreled over him.
I do remember that.
I mean, both of them collided, and this guy, it wasn't an accident. This guy went in, and both of them ended up down, and then dust everywhere, like you couldn't even see them at first. There was so much dust flying around, then you just see them both on the ground, and then I remember you actually, because then after the game, you paid $25 to face Seaver for 3 pitches or something?
3 pitches, yeah.
Yeah, you did it.
I didn't remember doing it, but then Rob reminded me.
You didn't remember doing it?
I couldn't remember that I did it.
So you remember being 6 years old and seeing, and remembering the score of a game, a game that wasn't like a memorable game,
No.
but you don't remember at age 30 something going up to bat against
now.
Tom Seaver.
It had to be jolted. I remember.
Oh my
it now.
goodness. Hello, Bosie. Nice to see you.
And I didn't do well. It was 3 strikes in a row. I think it was.
Was it?
I didn't
Was
hit.
it overhand?
No. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
it was softball.
Yeah. Softball.
Yeah,
But then do you remember?
but that's the fourth thing I remember.
Go ahead.
Which I tell this story all the time. It was before the game started. Seaver is pitching to Grody. He's warming up. And Bud Harrelson is behind Grody inside the fence.
Okay.
He's not on the outside. Why he's standing there, I have no idea. Do you remember this?
He hits him.
Yeah. Seaver goes like this to Grody, waves him, tells him to get out of the way. Grody gets up, he moves. So now Harrelson is talking to somebody through the fence, so his back is to Seaver. But Seaver does overhand.
Right.
Boom!
Bam.
Nails him right in the back of the head. Harrelson turns around, he's like, and Seaver goes, get out of the way.
Yeah, I remember that. That's right. I forgot about that one.
I
Holy.
was floored. I was like, what in the world was that? And then,
Steve was in a mood that day.
and now Harrelson has, Alzheimer's?
Yeah.
I think that's why.
Oh wow.
Seaver, I think, murdered Bud Harrelson.
geez.
You heard it here first. I wonder if there's video from that event or something. Because that was
I know there's a
crazy.
picture because I think
Well, there's a picture of you with Grody, isn't there? Didn't you get a
with
picture of Grody?
Harrelson.
Oh, with Harrelson.
Yeah.
Okay.
But do you remember Seaver had to leave? They were doing autographs afterwards, and he had to leave early.
No, I think I don't remember them doing autographs after. I had to leave early. I don't remember why, but I left early.
After the game, there was a long line forming for autographs. They went to a table after the game was over and did autographs.
Right.
Long line. I mean, down into the outfield.
Right.
And about midway through, Seaver had to leave.
Okay.
So I gotta go. People started complaining like crazy.
Oh, really?
Oh my god, yeah, and putting him down. Was he so busy he can't? Whatever. Grody was actually going down the line personally to try to speed things up.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he gave him autographs. He hears one guy, about 2 people in front of me, complaining about Seaver.
Yeah.
He's too good for us. He's too busy. Then Grody went off on the guy.
Oh, really?
You know his life. Do you know what his life is like? You have any idea what his life is like?
Yeah.
And went off on him. For
Wow.
Like 5 minutes.
Jerry Grody, during the offseason, because it wasn't until the mid to late 80s before these baseball players were making, all the crazy money they make today. Back in the 70s, they weren't millionaires. A lot of them even had, off jobs during the off season.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry Grody, so they didn't have big mansions to go to, and they couldn't afford a big apartment in the city. Jerry Grody so a lot of baseball players used to either bunk together in a small place, or families used to put these guys up during the season.
Right.
So Jerry Grody played for the Mets during the 70s, was not a New Yorker. So during the season when they played home games, he used to stay with a family in Hicksville.
I heard that.
Yep. That's where we're from.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the A section.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know where.
Yeah, off Acre Lane.
Oh, gee.
Yep. I don't.
Only we knew.
I know that's one of the reasons why I bring that up. I say the A section. There's two sections to Hicksville where all the streets start with A. There's another neighborhood on the other side of a school where all the streets start with the letter B. So you have the A section and the B section.
Right.
And that's where we grew up. We grew up on April Lane. And then there was a street called Acre that kind of like circled the whole A section. It was like on the
The horseshoe.
Yeah. And then so it was on the other side of that park. It was
Yeah.
over there somewhere that he would stay.
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
So we're hanging here. Thanks for joining us today. We're hanging out with Frank, and we're waiting the Uncle Louie Variety Show. They should be zooming in soon, and Carlos Mencia is going to be calling in probably around 12:30ish. Well,
Or now.
Here's a call now. Yeah, let's see. I hope it's not him, because then if the Uncle Louie chime in, then we're in trouble. I don't think this is him, but this is usually the line that the telemarketers call. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. This is Yvette Shear. I work with Carlos Mencia.
Oh, hi. How are you?
Good, how you doing?
Very good, thanks.
Awesome. Who am I speaking with?
My name is Tony.
Hey, Tony. So we have James set it up for Carlos to call into, I think he said Sally.
She's actually not here today, but so it'll be me he'll be talking to.
Oh, okay, excellent. So does noon sound good for him to call?
Anytime after 12 would be great.
Okay, sounds good. I'll have him call in to this number a little after 12 then.
Sounds good. Thanks so much.
All right, thanks, Tony. See you later.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Whoops. Well, she didn't say anything. That was Carlos Mencia's person.
Oh, really?
Verifying the call and the time that she's calling. So, Fremda, I used to live on Acre. That would be funny if we were neighbors before I knew you. Really, Fremda? You lived on Acre Lane in Hicksville? I talk about Hicksville every single day on this show. How have you never told me that?
Where in Acre compared to April?
And when was this?
Yeah, right. We left 82, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But we stayed in Hicksville for
yeah.
a long time after that. All right, so there you heard it, folks. Carlos Mencia will be checking in just a little while.
What time did they say?
She said a little after 12.
Okay.
But I don't know what happened to the Uncle Louie guys. So, if they...
Did you message him?
No, well, I'm busy now. So... all right, but at least we know Carlos Mencia is calling. Carlos Mencia playing Governors tonight, and I think tomorrow too. So, go to govs.com and come see some great shows. So we're sitting here talking about the Mets. We're all excited about the Mets. Tonight rather is the big day.
Scherzer tonight, right?
What?
Scherzer's tonight?
Yeah, Scherzer is tonight, yes. Scherzer is pitching tonight. Carlos is a funny Mencia. Oh, goodness. Tell me when you lived on Acre Lane, you son of a bitch. I'm not reading those comments when Carlos is on the phone. I'll tell you that right now. He'll reach to the phone and hit me, and then I'll hit you. So we're excited about the Mets, and then we had Jeff McNeil of the Mets won the batting title this year. That's pretty cool. And I'm sorry, I know home runs are exciting, and nothing against Aaron Judge, but I would take a batting title over a home run title any day.
Even this home run title?
Yeah.
No.
A batting title is when you have the highest batting average in the league. Mets Jeff McNeil at a 326, I think,
like
batting average, which is not easy. It doesn't sound very high, but it's not easy for those of you who don't know baseball. But when you have a high average, that means you got a lot of hits. That means you got a lot of clutch hits. That means you got a lot of RBIs. That's an all-around, player. Where Judge is a great player. I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying I'd rather have the batting title because home runs, a lot of home runs aren't clutch. A lot of home runs come when you don't need them. Judge does strike out a decent amount. Again, home runs are more exciting. People love to watch it. You're definitely known more for, home run hitters are definitely more popular in baseball. But to me, again, an RBI, a batting title, just means it means you did more. Mm-hmm. And even with Judge, it's great what he did with the home runs. But we have Pete Alonso, who had like almost 150 RBIs for the season. That's an insane amount of RBIs. That's almost one RBI per game.
It was like 130, something like that.
It was over 130, wasn't it?
Was it?
I think it was like high 30s, maybe. Mm. Still, I mean, they play 152 games a year, so that's almost one RBI per game. True. That is huge. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, and he had a respectable 40-something home runs.
Right.
Very respectable. That's great. So, I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to take away from Judge.
So, all right, go ahead.
Fremder, baseball players compared to comedians, the more jokes you tell, like the Babe, the more home run laughter you'll get. What? What? Baseball players compared to comedians, the more jokes you tell, like the Babe, the more home run laughter you'll get. Oh, all right. So you're saying like Babe Ruth hit home runs. So you're saying like a comedian whose joke is like hitting a home run, right? So that gets more laughs. Babe gets more cheers for hitting a home run. Wow, that was tough.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So I have a home. Oh, go ahead.
He's writing in Bosey lingo. Yeah, you're not kidding. If you're up to back, I'm assuming that's supposed to be bat. The most you'll strike out. At the most you'll strike out, but you'll hit the most home runs. If you tell the most jokes, you'll bomb, but also be funny. You're making my head hurt, Fremder. Fremder, it was a very simple question. When did you live on Acre Lane in Hicksville?
Yeah.
Or was that a joke that I missed? I used to live on Acre. That would be funny if we were neighbors before I knew you.
No, that seems pretty straightforward.
Seems like it, but you never know.
So I have a home run question for you.
A home run question?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as Judge goes.
Yeah.
He's now behind, was it Sosa, McGuire, and Bonds?
Correct.
Some people are saying they shouldn't count. Where are you on that?
You have to have the talent and the ability to do what they did. But having said that, I do think they hit more because they were juiced up. Mm-hmm. So but even still, you can sit here all day and make the arguments of whether being juiced up or not helped. They still had the ability and they had the power and whatnot. You know what? I don't even care about that. The fact is, you juiced up. You broke the rules.
Right.
I think their numbers for that season, the seasons they hit those home runs, should be erased. I do.
So you think Judge should be the all-time?
Yeah, I mean, because those guys admitted it. They were caught.
Right.
Right? It's not speculation, right?
I don't know. Did Bonds admit it too? I know Sosa and McGuire did.
Yeah, that's good. I think he did. I think eventually it did come out that Bonds definitely did it. I'm not sure, but if it's proven that a player cheated, yeah, it's different. I don't think Pete Rose should have gotten a permanent ban from baseball. I don't think Willie Mays should have been banned from baseball because he got caught doing something. Was it betting also? But it was after he was done playing. I forget what he did. He did something stupid. Pete Rose got a lifetime ban from baseball because he was betting on the teams that he was managing and playing against.
And against them, wasn't he?
Yeah. But to me, these didn't these didn't affect the outcome of the game. Like what was it, 1918 White Sox, that they're now known as the Black Sox because they took money to lose the World Series on purpose. Great movie, by the way, 8 Men Out. Go see that movie. They took bribes, they took money to lose the World Series on purpose. So, yeah, they should be punished, and those guys were punished. They were banned for life. These were great players, Shoeless Joe Jackson and some other great players, banned for life. They were kicked out of baseball. Yeah, if you're doing something that affects the actual game, yes, you should. I do think their numbers should not go down as in the record books. So, yeah, I do think Judge, God forbid, hopefully we don't ever hear that Judge cheated somehow.
Right.
But as of now, I do think he should be the leader. Oh, all right, there we go. Finally. He definitely lived on Acre in the year 2000. All right, so that was the year I moved out of Hicksville. I moved out of Hicksville in 2000. How could somebody bet on their own team? There's always a prick in the rose. So, yeah. So, I think he did bet against them.
Yeah.
I think,
I remember hearing that.
That's a Met game I was at. 1989. I went with a bunch of friends, Joey and a bunch of friends, and Tara Watkins and a bunch of us, and we were sitting all the way up. And there was a bunch of us. We took 2 cars, and I remember there was this other girl. There was this girl we barely knew. She was like not an exchange student because she was older, but she was staying with somebody in our group was like the neighbor of a family that had this girl staying with them for a summer or something. This girl barely even spoke English. But she was our age, and we were hanging out outside one day, and all of a sudden she just came out, and we just got talking to her. We got friendly. So I remember she came with us. Maybe her name was Maria? I forget what her name was. But anyway, so there was a bunch of us. We took 2 cars, and we took Billy Comerford with us, too, and he was a little guy. Because he was, he's a lot younger than us. But we were mooning each other in the cars on the way to the game. Like we were being, and this, Billy was like 10 or 12 or something. He couldn't believe what he was seeing. And then we would go to the game, and the Spanish girl, like to make sure he wouldn't get lost or anything, she was holding his hand. But just to because he was young. But of course, his face is all red. He literally was holding her hand, walking around like this. We were cracking up. So we go to this game, and we're being wild, and we're yelling, we're being stupid. This kid thought this was the greatest thing ever. So then during the game, we're like, because had to be at least 10 of us, but we're slowly, in just like in pairs or in threes, we're sneaking down. Remember you used to do a lot, in games, people would sneak down to the lower levels. We were doing that. And somehow we managed to still kind of sit close by and still be able to talk to each other and stuff. It was really strange. We made it down to field level. And we're right by third base. And sure enough, the Mets were playing the Cincinnati Reds. Tim Tuffle got hit by a pitch from Rob Dibble. Rob Dibble was a demented man. He was not right in the head. So he hits Tuffle. Tuffle goes out, and they get into a fight. And it was a big bench-clearing brawl. It was awesome. And the place is going nuts, and we're right there for this. The fight gets broken up. They started it again. They fought a second time, and it was crazy. And this is just when this stuff with Rose was starting to surface. And he was managing the Reds at the time. So now we're right by third base, so that's the visitor's dugout. So Rose is walking back to the dugout, and the place is going nuts. Rose must go. Rose must go. And we're right there. I mean, I can see the whites of his eyes, and we're screaming that. Those are great memories, all that hate. That was a great time.
Did he reply? Did he respond?
Oh, what's he going to do?
I know.
15,000 people in the audience, in the seats. I went on a date with a baseball game once. During the ninth inning, she held my ballpark. The ninth inning stretch. From there.
I was just remembering the Ducks game a few years back.
Yeah.
A bunch of us went to. And remember the foul ball that came up?
Oh, I got the ball, didn't I?
but you
Didn't I fall? I forgot all about that.
right before it, we were just talking. We were all just talking amongst ourselves, and you said something. I think the foul ball came before that.
Okay.
And you started saying, "Yeah, you can't believe how people would go nuts for a foul ball all the time." And then one came to you.
Oh, I was joking. I was joking around.
You yelled, "Get out of my way! Get out of my way! Get out of my way!" And you fell trying to get it.
But I still got it.
Yes, you did get it.
Yes, I did. I fell.
We all fell on the floor laughing.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, it's mine. It's mine.
It's mine. Yeah, that's. I remember yelling. It's mine. It's mine. And nobody came near me. Everybody backed away. Like, I'm not going near this
Everybody's
lunatic.
picking on you. Like, what the hell is this guy?
And then I slipped, and I did a split, but I still got the ball. I didn't catch it, but it landed near me, and I grabbed it. I did. I forgot about that.
We were laughing for the rest of the game.
I did. I forgot all about that. Do you remember we were at a game? I think it's '85. It was a doubleheader. Danny Heap and Terry Blocker in the outfield.
Okay.
And they were trying to catch a fly ball, and they collided. Oh, it was bad.
Yeah.
I've looked through the years. I can't find any video on the internet anywhere of this.
Really?
These two hit each other hard. They both went down. Wally Backman playing second base. He had to run out to go get the ball because the ball's still in play.
Oh,
and the guy, whoever hit the ball, ended up getting an inside the park homer.
Right.
They had to get stretchers. Like, these guys were out for the count, man. Wow. And I just remember, like, the whole place got so silent. And it never really, I remember it never really rebounded. Yeah, and they ended up losing the game. Like, these guys were so hurt that nobody even cared anymore about the game.
Yeah, right.
But they, of course, had to play. But, yeah, you don't remember that, huh? I remember we were there. Yeah, that was awful.
Wow.
Yeah, that was really bad. I think colliding when you're in the air trying to catch a ball is called football. I got nothing. All right, so I guess we're not hearing from the Uncle Louie guys. I hope they're okay. Yeah, hope they're all right. But you know what? I wonder if... Let me just... I mean, it's going to screw that up, but I should just check real quick my phone to see if they tried getting in touch with me. Nope, nothing there. And nothing there. All right. So, well, either way, Uncle Louie, the Uncle Louie Variety Show, they're playing tonight at McGuire's in Bohemia. It's a great show. They're good friends. Great guys. Love those guys. Go see them. You will not be disappointed, especially if you love, like, the Sebastian Maniscalco, the Anthony Rodia, the Italian humor. Mm-hmm. You will love these guys. I've seen these guys a few times. They've been in here with me many times. They're good friends. Really enjoy them and have nothing but great things to say about their show. Yeah, so go see them at McGuire's tonight. Govs.com. I don't know if it's sold out or not, but find out. Go to govs.com and see if you can get tickets. Highly recommended. It's a great show. And, yeah, we will have Carlos Mencia calling us in a few minutes. It's his birthday coming up in a couple of weeks.
Oh, nice.
So I'll be the first to say happy birthday to him. I don't know why that matters. But so we've been talking about... I mentioned the premiere of Comic Sans with Don Sill. Did you want to come to that?
When is it again?
Wednesday, November 16th at 7:30.
I have to check, but
It's not like you're playing a gig.
But I have to check at home too. Because I'm not sure what's going on at home. But if nothing's going on, I should be able to.
Did you hear? All right, so yeah, we're just hanging while we wait for Carlos. So we've been talking about baseball the whole time.
Yeah.
One thing I was looking at, a funny story out of Baldwin, New York, Baldwin is southwest of here, maybe 20 minutes, give or take. Town on the South Shore. The other day, today's Friday, 2 days ago, Wednesday, a man tried to rob a McDonald's in Baldwin. Now, that in itself sounds like, it happens and doesn't sound all that special, but what happened was this guy went through the drive-thru, on a bicycle. The woman opens the little window there. Yeah. And the guy, I hope he took the good tasting nuggets. All right. He pulls out a gun and says, "It's a stick up. Give me your money." So the teller, the cashier, whatever you want to call her, she just closes the window and runs. Like, well, which makes total sense. Like, you're trying to rob a McDonald's through the drive-through. Like, it's not like she has no. Like, it's not like she can't escape.
Bless you. Jeez.
Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he's in the store.
Right.
Where if she ran, he could fire or jump over the counter, grab the money. This guy's in the drive-through window.
So she closes the door.
She just closes the windows and runs away.
So what does he do?
There's nothing he can do. He takes off on his bike.
He just leaves.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Pointed a black firearm at her and demanded the money. The worker shut the window, walked away from the window. The man rode away in an unknown direction on a yellow bicycle.
That's it.
That's it. That's the whole story.
Okay.
I just thought that was the weirdest thing. And kudos to the girl at the window for for thinking to just shut it and get out of the way. And probably laughing.
Yeah, right.
It's like, what is this? Is this guy serious? When a lady opens her window, she's bound to get a stick up. God. Yeah, I thought that was the funniest thing. He tried to rob the place while on a bicycle and through the window. I don't know.
Okay.
A black firearm. That's racist, says Fremder. Sorry. Yeah. So, yeah, I thought that was a funny story. Speaking of funny stories, on Monday nights here, we have Steve Squared. And Steve Mandracina, who's the older, if you watch the show, Steve K sits here. He's the younger Steve. The other Steve, Steve M, Steve Mandracina, he sits over there.
Nobody sits over here?
Well, who's ever engineering the show sits here.
Okay.
Yeah, how weird is that? That you and Steve, you go back with Steve M to what, the 80s at this point?
84, yeah.
84?
Yeah.
Wow. I'll never forget, a few years back, we were in the studio here, and Steve K, who I knew, Steve Kaminsky, I didn't really know him at all, but we had met because he does some local theater and stuff, so we met in that community, so we were both local actors. But he contacted me about doing a show in here. I said, yeah, come on in, and I'll show you the studio, and we'll talk. So he shows up, but we're in the middle of doing this show. Me, Eric, and Sally. We're in the middle of doing the show. So I just said, have a seat over there, and we'll talk after. So I didn't really pay attention as to who the other guy was. And we finished the show, shutting everything down until they get up, and he says, hey, Tony, good to see you again. I'm like, and then I was, because I hadn't seen him. I mean, I didn't really know him that well.
Right.
He was your friend, but I still, knew him a little bit, but at least 25 years since I had seen him. So, holy cow. So, yeah, how weird is that?
That's
so
funny.
So now he's here every Monday. And you've never really lost touch with him, right? You guys have been friends all these
Off
years,
and on,
right?
yeah.
Well, he did move out to L.A.
moved
for a
away
while. Yeah.
To do TV work.
Right. But, yeah, he and then he always tells the story that he met you because you both worked in Sears, right, in Hicksville?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you used to bring a boombox to work.
He used to work upstairs in the electronics, I think it was, and I was downstairs in the catalog area.
Right.
And on slow days, I would bring a radio.
You'd actually, no, not a radio. You brought a boombox. A black boombox. I remember this thing. You used to bring it, remember in the 80s, everybody carried those boomboxes? You would bring that to Sears and you would put it on the floor and just
Huge
play.
one like that?
Yeah.
I remember I had one that was like a single.
No, it was a black boombox, like a black firearm. It's a black boombox. It was, it was like the arm's length. Remember they used to,
Right.
everybody used to try to look cool by carrying it sideways,
Right.
the speaker here, the speaker there, and the cassette player in the middle. And you just, yeah, and that, I mean, you didn't do that.
No.
You had it you used to carry the handle. But I remember the boombox.
Okay.
And then Steve even said it when we talk about it. He's like, yeah, because Steve worked at Sears, but he had a show where he was a DJ at Nassau Community College. In fact, he still does, actually.
Still does it, yeah.
And so somebody told him, hey, there's a guy downstairs playing your show.
Yeah. I think get
So-
the tape of it.
So he was like, no way. He didn't believe it. He thought this guy was putting him on. So he says, he goes, I go down and there's a guy with this big black boombox in the middle of the catalog department. And and with his show playing.
Yep.
Friend used to date a stripper who went by the name of Black Boombox.
Jesus. Oh Lord.
That's good. That was good. Yeah, and that's how you two met.
Yeah.
And then he's a big Monkees fanatic.
Right.
So we used to see him. I used to see him at monkey shows too. In fact, this one, I haven't seen him. I was talking on the show recently about Davy Jones falling off the stage.
You ever ask him about that?
No, that's what I'm saying. I haven't seen him since I talked about.
He was there for that.
He was there for that.
Yeah. He got backstage afterwards.
Right. Then didn't he tell you that Davy Jones was backstage complaining that he hurt his back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Davy Jones. We were at Westbury Music Fair to see the Monkees. Westbury Music Fair. It's not called Westbury Music Fair anymore, but whatever it's called.
This week.
Yeah. It has. It's in the round. Mm-hmm. That's the setting. So there's seats all around the stage. So so you have to come down the aisle, and it takes you down to the floor, and then you climb up a few more steps to get onto the stage. Right. So Davy Jones is running backwards and not paying attention, and he fell right off the stage.
They did a bit where he was dressed up like David Lee Roth,
Right.
singing the monkey song Valerie, and he's hamming it up and all that stuff. And he was going backwards, didn't see, and he fell backwards on his back. The funniest, can I say this?
I don't know what you're going to say.
The funniest thing was the whole place was like, oh my God, kind of thing. They all gasp, except for my brother, who's sitting next to me, and goes, what? And stops himself from laughing.
I didn't stop. I didn't stop myself.
I remember you going, boop.
I laughed for the rest of the show, and then it continued after the show was over. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
There used to be a recording of it on YouTube, but it's gone now.
Audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. There's no video, but
No.
yeah, I remember you found that on YouTube once and sent it to me.
And I can't
and you
find
just
it.
hear a quick little. I mean, that's really. You don't get the full sense of it.
But you
Just
go,
audio.
and he goes down.
Oh, that was so freaking funny. I mean, he wasn't hurt, which is probably why I laughed.
Yeah.
I saw him fall. Yeah, that, and then I saw Melissa Etheridge once at Jones Beach.
Oh, that's famous. Yeah.
And I think that might be on YouTube. She's at the edge of the stage at the end of the show, and she's trying to hit hands, shake hands, and nobody pulled her or anything. I don't know what she did, but she fell right off the stage.
Right.
Oh my
Buffett did
goodness!
too a couple of years back.
Buffett fell off the stage at Jones Beach.
He just a few years ago. He couldn't. The lights were on him, and he couldn't see. He was walking, and he just kept on going.
Well, why would you keep going then if you can't see?
He figured he had room.
And he fell off.
Fell off, and he hit. And I think you actually hear it. I think he falls and he hits like a bar with his head.
Ooh.
And you hear going. Like an old comedy bit.
Back in 2002, Rob and I went to see The Who at Madison Square Garden, and we had seats to the side of the stage. So we were to the band's right. Great seats because we were very close, and we were close to the stage, but just off to the side. And there was a guy. It was towards the end of the show, and there was a guy. He was just a few rows in front of us. I'll never forget this. He had a full.
Oh yeah.
I've told you this.
Yeah.
He had a liter. Yeah, this is a liter. He had a liter bottle of Pepsi, just like this,
Right.
and it was full. This I don't think he even opened it. He just flung it, and you can see this thing go flying.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it was almost in slow motion,
Yeah.
and this thing's coming down, nails Roger Dolce right on the arm. And I'm telling you, it's a full bottle. It was, it has the force of flying down. I'm telling you, that must have hurt like a son of a bitch.
He flipped out, right?
He got mad, and it took a second. Like you see him, it hits him, and you see him just kind of do one of these, and all of a sudden he's like, he's grabbing it, and yeah, he was pissed, and you see he's like looking, he's mad, and people from all over our section are pointing. Oh yeah, he comes over and he's yelling, "Come here, come here!" The song I think they were playing "Won't Get Fooled Again." The song ends. And so now he's on the mic. Get up here. Let's see what a man you are. Come up. And he's got the guy, and he's pointing, and he's screaming. He wouldn't let up. Finally, Townsend himself had to grab Daltrey because they were going off for the encore. So he actually had to physically grab him and pull him out, pull him off the stage.
Wow.
I'll never forget that, man. That was insane. That was crazy. All right, New York girl. Good afternoon. Look who came to visit, she says. Tony, reach over and give a big hug to Frank from me. Jeff Bosey. Mencia tonight and tomorrow at 7 p.m. Thank you, Jeff. All right, so this program I'm using is withholding Fremder's comment.
Uh-oh.
It's a little racist. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to let that one through. Ha-ha. Whoops.
Oh, you can see it, though.
What?
You can see it? But
I can see it, but the viewers can't.
Oh, okay.
But then I can either say it's okay to let it through or say no. And I said no to that one. Ha-ha.
Okay. Who's the old girl?
I'll tell you off the air.
Okay.
From their Daltrey couldn't keep it bottled in any longer. Oh, my goodness. All right, so it's definitely a little after 12. And that's when you guys heard it. Carlos Mencia's people called in and said that they'd like to call in after a little after 12. We said okay. Our apologies for the Uncle Louie Variety Show. They were supposed to call around in between 11:30 and 12. I don't know what happened. I checked my phone. I didn't see any messages. Hope they're okay. But yeah, at this point, we're now waiting for a phone call from Carlos Mencia. He's playing the club here at Governors in Levittown. He's playing tonight and tomorrow. I forget if it's tonight or tomorrow. In the Giga Room, we got Fiona Hughes. Is that her name? The soap opera star?
Sounds familiar.
Finola, whatever, something like that. You guys know who I'm talking about. She was on General Hospital. She's been on a bunch of different soap operas. She's at the Giga Room. I think it's tomorrow. Maybe it's tonight, but I think it's tomorrow. Go to govs.com. Check out the schedule. See what they got cooking. New York girl, be careful. Twitch will kick you off if you have comment that are against their terms of service. Thank you, New York girl, for telling me that. Good to know. Because, yeah, we've let a few from their...
kick you off?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Right? I think if you have comments that are against their terms of... I'm assuming... I'm reading that as kicking me off.
Wow, okay.
If Fremder gets me kicked off... I'm trying to think of a bad Fremder pun. Something Fremder would say. I will unfremder him. I will unfremd. Yes, shut down your Twitch channel. Yes. Hey, Fremder. Hi, Tony. This is Gina. I work with... Oh, the Uncle Louie Variety Show. Oh, they're having technical difficulties. Oh, okay, no problem. Thanks for letting me know, Gina. I was a little worried that, because they're traveling. I was a little worried that, maybe something happened. So I was a little worried. But I'm glad it's just technical difficulties, and it's no problem. Tell them, don't worry about it. We hope they get down to Long Island safely. Hope they have a great show tonight. Again, like I said a few minutes ago, love those guys. They've been very good to us. They come in here all the time, especially when, and they Zoom with us often. Whenever they're in the area, they always be sure to, come and either stop in this show or come in the studio on this show. They're very good to this show, and they're great guys, very funny guys. Love their show. Love their manager, Tony, as well. He's a great guy. So thank you, Gina, for letting me know. And, again, hope they get down there safely. And I'm just glad they're getting out of Syracuse. I don't know why. Oh, they're in the Zoom waiting room? Oh, man. All right, we'll say a quick hello. We unfortunately don't have time for them. Oh, there he is. There's Lou. All right, let me see if I can get this working. There they are. All right, hang on, guys. Hang on. Can you hear us? You guys there? Hello. All right, they're waving. All right, so I guess you guys hear us. We don't hear you. But, all right, I'll talk to you real quick. No, yeah, I see you talking. I'm not hearing anything. And honestly, I think it might even be on your end, I think. Oh, I think I got you. Hey! Hi, guys. I think we got you beat on that. We have technical difficulties. What's that? No, it's just no Sally today. It's just me and my brother. This is my brother Frank.
How you doing? How are you guys?
So what do we got over there? Is it just the two of you? There's no Tony or anybody? Now wait a minute. What do you mean he's doing something else? That's allowed? I thought I thought it was more of a love-hate relationship where he loves you and you hate him. Yeah, I'm with you about that. In fact, I mean, you guys are rich and famous now. I don't know why you're still there. That's great. That's great. You sure do. I've been telling everybody to make sure they get there today. That's tonight at McGuire's. Fantastic. You guys never disappoint. Yeah, and always just Long Island has been they're pretty good to you guys, right? Absolutely. That's for sure. Yeah, absolutely. All right, I am going to. Yeah, we're getting people saying that for some reason they're not hearing you. So I'm just gonna, and I'm not really sure what's happening here. My apologies. So I am gonna just cut this short, and because we're actually getting off in a few minutes, and we have Carlos Mencia is actually going to be calling in a minute. So yeah, I will tell him that, and so. Well, I'll definitely mention you guys, so he'll know you today if he doesn't already know you. Absolutely. Have a great show tonight. Sorry for all the technical issues, but definitely hope to talk to you guys soon and wish you well, and I hope to see you guys soon. You guys are the best. All right.
You too. Take care.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. All right. There we go. All right. Let's see. Okay. Our apologies. I thought I had it working, and I don't. Yeah. I mean, we eventually heard them, but you guys said you couldn't hear them, so our apologies there. But they were.
You have to recap.
Yeah. Cutting it short. What is this midget television? Yeah. Oh, Sally says we should have put a headphone could have put a headphone right there. Sorry. So yeah, we have new software that we're using for the Twitch channel. So I don't know, and I actually checked the mic to make sure it was I checked the audio this morning before we went on to make sure it was working. So I don't know what happened there. All right, I'll have to do some more tests and mess around with it. So, yeah, my apologies. The Uncle Louie Variety Show, those guys are the best. They're playing tonight at McGuire's. Go see them. You will not be disappointed. They're fantastic. So, basically, they were just joking because they were saying they called late because they were having technical difficulties on their end. So, and then they finally got through, but then I couldn't get the audio working. But they were... So they said they were just happy to get out of Syracuse, which, yeah, I said, why do you guys even still live there? Because you're rich and famous now. And they said, yeah, they rich and famous. They said they they're actually flying because they're rich and famous now. It just looked like a car. You know, they were saying things like that, and they were talking about how much they hate their manager Tony. And I said I thought it was, and they said Tony hates them as well. And I said, well, I thought it was a love-hate relationship where Tony loves them and they hate him. And they pretty much said that was the case. And then they said they love playing on Long Island. They've played here at Governor's. They've played the Brokerage. They've played McGuire's in the past. So they were just saying how much they love coming to Long Island. Long Island always great audiences. They're always energetic and a lot of fun. And that was pretty much it. And then I said, okay, I got to go because we can't hear you. But they've been in here many times. Always fun. I can't say enough good things about those guys, and I feel awful that it went that things were bad here. But it was nice of them to check in as always as we await a phone call from Carlos Mencia. Maybe Mike can figure it out. Yeah. Yeah, we'll get it figured out. Yeah. See, I hate when stuff like that happens. So I don't know what happened there. It's your fault.
Thank you. I'll take it.
Okay. So all right. Let me see what else we got here. So I had a whole bunch of questions for Uncle Louie. Let's see. What do you do all day when you're sitting? Because you're home a lot. Do you watch TV?
Some.
Like what?
Basically whatever's on, but most of the things like Blue Bloods, that kind of stuff, like NCIS.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you, 80?
Yeah, I like those shows. Or I usually will DVR Colbert late at night and watch it the next day.
Colbert?
Yeah.
Really?
I like Colbert.
Really?
Yeah.
Colbert's very political.
Yeah, but the way he does it is
still
pretty general.
All right. I know one of his writers.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, he's been in here with us.
Huh.
I'm looking for a particular story and I can't find it. Yeah, Paul Macario. Okay. He does. He's one of his writers and he does stand up and stuff. He's been in here and we've been guests. He had an off-Broadway show for a while and we were guests to his show.
Nice.
There's one particular thing I was looking for and I can't find it. Wow, I must have gotten rid of it.
We were mentioning Sears before.
Yes.
And I spent 2 Christmases working there. Which...
That's it?
I
thought you worked there longer.
No. Well, it was probably like 2 or 3 years, but my Christmas time was 2 times.
Oh.
And some of the things I saw from that time were pretty funny.
Like what?
It was right on the time of Cabbage Patch, and 2 grown men fighting over the last one.
Like fist fighting?
Almost. Yeah.
Really?
Came close. They were about to.
Wow.
And we put a stop to it.
We describe we. Yeah.
Not me, but the people in our department. Not me. Oh hell no. I'm watching laughing.
Yeah, you're running the other way.
Yeah.
The fastest I ever saw you run was when a bird got into Mom's apartment.
Oh God.
It was a bird. It's a bird. She locked herself in the bathroom, and this one ran the fastest I've ever seen him run out of the house.
No, I ran to the door so I can let them out. I was stood by the door.
You stood outside holding the door.
No, I was at the door.
You were out. You were holding the handle, which means you had to be outside
to let them out.
Right. So you were outside.
I thought I was at the base. I don't know.
You were out of the house, locked in the bathroom, and out of the house over a bird. Regular little, I don't know what kind of bird it was, but a little bird. Not like, some, like a pterodactyl that's attacking. And then I had to get him. I used a broom. I opened the windows, and I just kind of used a broom.
It got stuck in the mirror or something, didn't it?
How does stuck in the mirror?
There was, around the edge of the mirror, there's like a little frame, and it got stuck in the frame of the mirror. I remember.
Oh, I don't remember that.
You had to go jolt it to get it out of the mirror.
I don't remember that at all. Yeah. I just remember the the drapes in front of the window. Mm. We were watching TV, and all of a sudden we just see the drapes moving. What the hell's going on over there? And then all of a sudden there the bird was.
Right.
And then, I remember getting a broom with the handle, just kind of, we opened the window and eventually, I don't remember that with the mirror. It got stuck.
The mirror Mom has.
Yeah.
It's got like a frame thing around it.
Yeah.
And it got one of his legs stuck in it.
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just. Yeah. But yeah, that was So there's no way you were breaking up a fight.
No.
Have you ever broken up a fight?
No.
Have you ever been in a fist fight?
I got beat up once.
You
I
did?
remember.
No, I don't remember. When? Who?
I told you. It was in junior high school. I was walking.
Oh, a guy punched you in the stomach.
Yeah.
But then he kept walking. Like he didn't beat you up.
Well, but that's all it took for me to be beat up.
Yeah, he got you good, and you
Yeah.
have stomach issues. So so you, right? I think what happened? You couldn't breathe after that, and then
Couldn't breathe.
so they just sent you home.
Sent me to the doctor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, went to our doctor
Oh,
and checked it out. It was a big bruise. It was a little bit left of center.
oh, really? You had a bruise?
Big bruise. And they said if it was centered, it would have killed me.
Really? And you never found out who it was, right?
No, never found out.
You didn't see him?
No, I was walking in between classes, going to the next class, and I'm looking to my right, talking to a friend of mine, and I just felt the blow when I went down. Never saw ahead of me who it was.
Do you think it was on purpose?
Probably.
Wow.
I was an easy target back then. I was, I always had my books in front of me to protect my stomach.
Well, not this time.
Well, but I must have had my hands down or something, and the guy came and went to me. So.
I used to have terrible luck until one time I looked up and a bird shit right in my mouth. Life was good after that. Yeah, but friend, I could see you actually just standing there. You're weird like that.
But I also remember when I was at Sears, do you remember back in the old days they had those little toy organs? It was a Bon Tempe keyboard. It had the buttons on the left and the actual keyboard on the right side.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, you get to power it up. You hear almost like a vacuum come up. Mm-hmm. And again, they had like major and minor buttons on the left for the chords and a keyboard to the right. It was a toy thing. It was about maybe this tall to the ground. A woman came one time to return it, day after Christmas, and I'm writing it up. I'm like, okay, why are you returning the item? And she's all beet red. She says, it won't play unless you turn it upside down.
Turn it upside down?
I said, I stopped. I'm like, what? And I'm trying not to laugh. She goes, it's not funny. It's not funny. Yelling at me.
How do you play it if it's upside down?
Well, I took the return and she went away finally. And I'm imagining like nailing it to the ceiling. Oh, there it goes. Now it's working. Now we got it.
Yeah, that's odd. That doesn't make any sense.
Very strange.
You didn't plug it in and try it?
No, it was day after Christmas. It was mobs. The mob scene everywhere. We just took our stuff and ran, and everybody just helped the next person. Then I felt bad that one woman came in one time she came in with a curtain rod, and I'm like, okay, reason for returning it. She goes, I ordered a washing machine.
And what was it? She was what?
A curtain rod. She returned a curtain rod. She ordered a washing machine. That's what she got sent in the mail.
Oh, that's fine.
So I helped her out, and I said, can we reorder it? I'm like, okay, I'll reorder it using the right catalog number, supposedly. About a week or so later, it came back, another curtain rod.
Wow.
So something in the catalog or in the computer system read the number wrong.
Right.
We tried it a third time. Same thing. She goes, forget it. Just take it.
Wow.
And she walked out.
And a computer system, and this is the 80s.
Oh,
so
God.
What were they, like big, giant?
Huge things, yeah.
Wow. No, that's funny.
Felt so bad for the woman.
So we're waiting a phone call from Carlos Mencia. It was probably around 11:50 where some woman who works with him called up and said that he will be calling around a little after noon, and it's now 12:30.
Did you see the number pop up?
No. Actually, no, I didn't.
Does it come up when you call comes in?
Yeah, usually, yeah. But I didn't pay attention to it. And
It doesn't store?
I don't know. I have no idea. So, yeah, we're doing good today with our guests.
I showed up.
Yeah. Well, so while we're waiting, we'll give it a few more minutes. We usually end the show right about now.
All right.
But I will tell you the Best of Long Island voting has begun. For those of you if you're not on Long Island, it's It's called the Best of Long Island. It happens every year. And you go on the Best of Long Island site, and you get to vote on the best things of Long Island. And there's a bunch of different categories. And the people and the businesses that win, they don't really get any prizes or anything, but it's usually pretty good because it's very good at building exposure. And
They
when
got
people
like a banner or something, right? They put up.
Yeah, but you have to buy that.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But it's just good for business because when people you get some exposure because you're mentioned all over the magazine, the Long Island Press, and you get put up on the website, and people see that you're voted best of Long Island, so they just figure you must be good at what you do. So it's very good for business. So you should have a contest called the Breasts of Long Island. That's not a bad idea from there. Maybe we'll do that. So the voting started this week. And, there's a million categories. But we'd like to congratulate governors. They're nominated for Best Nightclub. Our friends Carla Okerson, Tim Saliani, and Mike Keegan have been nominated for Best Comedian. And then for Best Podcast, The Wort with Mike, Pete, and Steve. That's on here every other Monday. They've been nominated for Best Podcast. So we wish them well. They're up against some shows that used to be here, like Jam.
Oh, I think that they don't exist anymore.
No. Shows that have moved on to other places.
Oh, okay.
I love Joe and love Jam, the show Jam, but vote for The Wort because The Wort is here. If Joe is still here, I tell you to vote for him. But he's not here. And he's still our friend. And if The Wort wasn't nominated, I'd be voting for Joe. Joe was nice. He was in here like a month or so ago. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not mad at him for leaving. And he still has a great show, but it's not here. So don't vote for him. And then as far as Tim, Carla, and Mike are concerned, you can only vote once a day. And you can only vote, for one thing per category. So one day vote for Tim, the next day vote for Carla, then vote for Mike, and then start that cycle all over again. And vote for governors every day. So there you go. All right. So one story I did find the story I was looking for but couldn't find. I did find it. In Massachusetts, in Boston, as a matter of fact, their mayor, the Boston mayor, Michelle Wu. I hope she marries another guy. His last name is Who. Woohoo! She has ordered no artificial turf to be installed in city parks, making Boston the largest municipality in a small but growing number around the nation to limit the use of turf because it contains dangerous chemicals. Now, I don't know if I've been living under a rock or what, but I had no idea that turf had chemicals, dangerous chemicals. I mean, I figured it had chemicals because it's artificial, but all artificial turf is made with the toxic PFAS compounds, and some is still produced with ground-up tires that can contain heavy metals, benzene, VOCs, and other carcinogens that can present a health threat. The material also emits high levels of methane, a potent greenhouse gas, and sheds microplastics and other chemicals into waterways. I had no idea. Beyond chemical risks, the field can act as heat islands that increase playing field temperatures to as much as 200 degrees Fahrenheit. 200 degrees Fahrenheit.
What does that do for baseball?
Well, that's probably why they don't use it anymore.
Some of them do.
Who?
Didn't the Mets just play someone in I think it was Texas?
Texas still uses it?
Pretty sure I heard that.
National Football League players are pressuring the league to ban artificial turf because of injuries, while U.S. national soccer teams will only play on natural grass for the same reason. The federal government estimates 12,000 synthetic turf fields exist in the U.S., and at least 1,200 more are installed annually. Proponents say they are easier to maintain than grass fields and are not prone to flooding, though they do also require significant maintenance. The product is also increasingly used on playgrounds or as alternatives to lawns in drought-plagued regions. I had no idea. So like I said, maybe I'm living under a rock, but that's the deal.
Okay.
And that's crazy to me. So I thought that was interesting. What else we got here? So usually I have the guests promote upcoming gigs and stuff, but you don't really.
No gigs. Actually, I recorded an album at home. It's coming out on Monday.
This Monday?
Yeah.
Why did I think it was out already?
It's going to be on all the retail sites as of Monday.
Oh, like what? Like
Amazon, I think Spotify, YouTube. Those are the ones I remember offhand, but there are more.
Wow. It sounds like it's safer to actually live under a rock. I want to see Mike Keegan and Jay Christopher on a seesaw. Oh my goodness. That's what I get for reading the comments. Without proofing them. So it's when, Monday?
Monday.
And it's what, cold 55?
Yes. Yep.
Why? Because that's your age?
That's my age.
Oh. So next year you'll have to change the album name, or?
No, because I just figured it was 55, and the album cover is a picture of me in a car, and I have a 55 speed limit thing on it. So I figured I'd just tie it all in.
Is this a Sammy Hagar thing?
Kind of, I guess. Yeah. Without.
Do you cover that song?
No. No, it's all my own stuff.
He has a new album out.
Does he?
Yes.
Any good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually, I think, his best in a while.
Cool.
That's my whole story. Like to get him on here. I bet you he'd call.
My favorite one was when we had Bill Champlin. That was a great show.
That's one of my favorites.
A really good show.
Yeah, that one went
into
really
it.
well. Bill Champlin, formerly of the band Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good interview.
Yeah.
Him and Ray Abruzzo, who played Little Carmine on The Sopranos. That's another one of my favorites. He was a lot of fun. I didn't expect him to be so much fun. You didn't watch The Sopranos, did you?
A little bit, not a lot.
You're one of the 3 people on this.
I watched the last one with you.
Did you?
I remember that, and and the way it ended, and you were just kind of like, "What happened? Where'd it go?" Because no one knew that was actually intended that way.
Right. But it was quick. Like, I quickly realized, no, this is the end. And then I remember Sal called me. I think I lost, my TV went out.
That's what I'm thinking, right?
No, it was Sal who called me up, yeah. I know what happened to my TV. I don't see it. I said, no, Sal, that's how it ended.
And then, the credits came on.
Right.
But it took them like 2 or 3 minutes before they did that. They left it black for a while.
Oh, yeah, they left it black for, at least a good 30 seconds to a minute. Yeah.
It seemed like it was longer. Because I think you were checking like something on the TV. What's going on here?
Yeah.
I think everybody checked that probably.
But I remember quickly realizing, no, that's the end.
Yeah.
Like by the time Sal called me, I had already realized, no, that's it. And then I remember Sal was freaking out. He thought his TV was on the blitz on the
watching the show.
Yeah. That was funny. But Little Carmine, Ray Abruzzo, that was one of our best interviews. All right, I'll allow that one from there. Trying to think. We had. You ever watch? You watch any of Ricky Gervais's TV shows?
No, not as shows. No, I've seen them on shows.
Right.
That kind of thing. But
because he's had a few series, and there's a woman, Kerry Godliman. She's been on some of his series, like as a regular on some of his series, but she was the last one he had called Afterlife. She's the one that plays his wife. If you guys have seen it, she's been on the show. That was a good one too.
I saw something of his on YouTube where he had David Bowie on with him.
That's from his show Extras.
Okay,
that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That was really, really funny. He played he was an actor who, wasn't really getting anywhere. He's just getting a lot of extra work, background work. Mm-hmm. And it was a very funny show. Loved that show. And there was one episode where he was an extra in some movie. And because even though he's an extra, had no lines or anything, he still was like invited to some like after party of some sort.
Right.
So he's there and he's just kind of complaining. He's upset with his life and feels like a loser. And he starts talking, like I don't remember the situation if he realized it was Bowie or not, but David Bowie's there, and he's kind of just, he's using Bowie as a therapist, but Bowie, there's a piano right next to Bowie, so he starts, silly little fat man, nobody loves him, can't get any work, and he gets into some chorus that he gets everybody to sing along with him, and they're all like, silly little fat man, and there's Ricky Gervais. It is so freaking funny.
Good. That was very good.
Oh, love that show. Ricky Gervais's face looked like he doesn't like the food he's tasting. Ricky Gervais's face looks like he doesn't like the food he's tasting.
I guess kind of like something like that.
Yeah, he's. I guess. Yeah, okay.
So was that one guy the only soprano you ever had on?
No, we had Robert Funaro. He played, for you guys who know The Sopranos, he played Eugene. He had that big scene in the last season where he hung himself, and you see him hanging himself, and he starts peeing all that garbage. Like a very graphic scene where he hung himself. That was Robert Funaro. He's been on our show. That might be it as far as Sopranos.
Steve Schuper would be a good guess.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was. Somebody.
But he does his own podcast. Right?
He does have his own podcast, yeah. But somebody had said to me that he thought he'd be able to get him on here, but it never happened. Joey Cola does that. Sharippa, Michael Imperioli, and Vincent Pistori, they do shows together where they go and take questions and talk about
Joey's part of that too?
Joey Cola hosts it.
Nice.
I've never asked Joey to hook me up. Joey actually did hook us up. We went to see the show at Westbury Music Fair, and after the show, if you had VIP tickets, you could meet them after the show. And Joey said, we didn't get the VIP, we just bought tickets. But Joey said to us, I got you covered. You go ahead. So, but we were the last ones. I mean, in this line, it was like half the place had this VIP thing. So we finally get there. We're the last ones, and you can see these three. They're like, so we just quickly took a picture. And we're like, and we said to them, we don't, we see that you're tired. It's a long night. I quickly said to Imperioli, because I'm a fan of his work, not just Sopranos. He's a tremendous actor. Unfortunately, he's only known for The Sopranos, but he's done some other great things. The name of the movie escapes me right now, but he made a movie with John Voight, and it was a fantastic movie, and he was like an angel or a ghost of some sort. I don't even remember now what it was. But he was great in it, so I mentioned that to him, and he's like, oh, thanks, I appreciate it. We took a quick picture, and off we went. Vincent Pistori, who played Pussy on The Sopranos, he hasn't done it in a while, but him and Goomba Johnny used to go and do a live show. And Goomba Johnny, as a lot of you guys know, he used to have a show in here with Anthony Rodia, but even before that, he'd been on our show maybe 2 or 3 times. So we went to see him and Vincent Pistori once at the club here, and we got to meet him after and had a chat with him. It was actually really strange because we talked to him, and Goomba Johnny said, these guys have a show, they'd love to have you on. And then I saw Vincent Pistori again at the brokerage one night, and I went over to just, shake his hand, say hello. He said right to me, he said, I'd still like to do your show. I said, oh, sure, I know you remembered me. And I said, all right, how do we do this? And I reached out to him. I'm friends with him on Facebook. But I reached out to him probably 5 times, a total of 5 times through the years, trying to get him, and he never responds. So I'm trying to think who else we've had in here. Vic DiBattista was called in.
Has he really?
Yeah, he's called in.
He's great.
Yeah, he's good. Adam Ferrara has called in. Adam Ferrara's called in, and then one time, when Don still had the game show in here, Adam Ferrara was playing the club, and he wouldn't come in, but he stood in the doorway and watched for probably a good 10 minutes. But yeah, we tried to get him to come in. He wouldn't come in. But that was very cool. He really seemed to enjoy what they were doing. And I talk about it all the time. Kevin James has been in here. He wouldn't go on the air or record anything, but he hung out in here one night with me and Joey. I mean, hung out. We're talking 5 minutes.
It's all right.
But it was me, him, and Joey, which that was very cool.
Nice.
Even Dice said hi to us once as he passed, which Dice is, I don't want to say he's not a nice man, but he's very private. He's very to himself. And I heard him actually yell at somebody in the green room once who walked in to try to talk to him.
I heard you something on the show saying that one time.
Yeah, it was very funny. But but yeah, he walked by and he was like, thanks guys, have a good night or something like that. And he just kept going. Okay. Oh, all right. Because based on our what we've heard about him, we were surprised to get that much.
Right.
The Swedish chef called in. The Swedish chef, yes, the Swedish chef called in. Yeah, the Muppets have called in. The Muppets have called in. Yeah, Kermit and Piggy called in. They were having a little lovers issue, and they called in to talk about it with us. Yeah, that was very cool. We've had Abe Lincoln and George Washington in here.
Oh, God.
In here. On President's Day a couple of years ago. George Washington and Abe Lincoln, they sat here.
Okay. We used to have some of the News 12 people down here years ago.
Antoinette Biordi's been in here. Drew Scott has been in here.
Oh, wow.
I think that's it from 12. Oh, no. Stone Grissom.
Right, remember that.
Who's nominated for Best of Long Island for Best Newscaster. Meanwhile, the guy moved off Long Island like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, he hasn't been around
He
for a
went
while.
upstate for a while, now he's down in Texas. But he's still getting nominated for Best of Long Island.
Nice.
Yeah, he was in here. Jamie Stewart, who used to do the sports on News 12, he was in here. Still, Some Sheet called in. That's right, Jeff Bosey. I haven't heard from Some Sheet in a while. But we've had some good people in here. Yeah, it's a fun show, and it would have been fun talking to Carlos Mencia today. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad now because I felt a little weird that the woman that called for him, like I felt weird having her on the air. She had no idea she was on the air.
You thought it was a marketer call.
I did think it would be a telemarketer call at first, but I'm glad I actually put that through for you guys to hear because now I have proof that he was supposed to call in.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, because it's not the first time where I've promoted somebody and they never call. But at least this time I have proof. One of Carlos Mencia's people called in, a nice lady, whatever her name was. We can go back and watch it later. And she said her name, and she said, she was calling in regarding Carlos's call. It was set up by the club. The owners of the club set this up. They called me. In fact, when I posted yesterday, I said, hot off the presses, Carlos Mencia is calling in. Because I had the show planned. Frank coming in, Uncle Louie, I was going to Zoom with them and talk to them. I was hoping for a good 20 to 30 minutes with them. Then Governors reaches out and says, Carlos Mencia is going to call in tomorrow. I was like, oh, okay, that's huge. But he's going to call it, who's going to call? Some Sheet? Or Carlos. I don't know. Should I? Yeah, Jeff's saying 12:55. Should I wait? Should we wait until 1 o'clock? I guess at this point we might as well. It's only another 10 minutes.
Yikes.
We'll sit and wait to see if Carlos Mencia calls in.
I think the last time I was on, we tried to do a TV show, TV theme contest or something like that.
Like a Name That Tune?
Yeah.
TV show? Oh, yeah, I remember that, yes. Yeah.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, it's been a long time, yeah. Usually masturbation makes me late for stuff also, says Fremder. You imagine that's why he you imagine that's why.
Sorry,
I'm calling so late. I was jerking off.
Oh jeez.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. So yeah, I mean, I can tell you the questions I had for Carlos Mencia. I'll tell you my Uncle Louie question. So I was going to talk about how Syracuse sucks, which I did mention quickly. Although Syracuse is actually the safest place in the top 10 safest cities to live in America. Syracuse. Now we're talking about weather.
Okay.
Located upstate New York, Syracuse has very low ratings for earthquakes, flooding, and tornadoes. While the area does sometimes get heavy storms and lots of snow, it's often the top of the list for urban areas safest from natural disasters. Number 1 on the list. So if you're scared of earthquakes and floodings and tornadoes, move to Syracuse. So they don't have those there. That's how bad the town is. They don't even have storms. There's nothing there. I've only been there once, and I was like, what in the world is this? It was awful. But they have the Uncle Louie Variety Show. Oh, by the way, I didn't even mention it at all. Also, opening up for Uncle Louie tonight at McGuire's in Bohemia, Eric Tartaglione is opening up for them. I mean, if this isn't a great show, I don't know what is. Eric Tartaglione, who was hysterically funny, another super nice guy, always friendly to the show as well, and a super Met fan. He goes to the fantasy camps every year. He's been doing it for years. Yeah. I tried to get him. He has personal phone numbers to some of these guys. So I said to him once, I said, "Can you hook me up with Mookie? Can you get Mookie on this damn show?" And he wouldn't do it. But that's the story I was going to. Well, all right. So Eric Tartaglione opening up tonight for Uncle Louie. I mean, that's just a fantastic show. So get over there to see that. That's what we were talking about before, talking about Met stories. I tell you guys all the time, we have Mookie that opens up he does that video for us when we open our show.
Right.
And I tell you guys all the time because he does this video. He's like, "Oh, Knockem dead. Good to see you guys again. Had a great time. Miss you guys. Bring me back on your show." He's never been on the show.
I was going to ask you that.
But that's what he says on the video. Had a great time. Can't wait to see you again. Hit me up. I'll come back.
You.
Yeah, miss you, he says. He's never been on the show.
Oh, jeez.
But during that video, I show a close-up of an autograph that he gave me where it says, "To my best friend, Tony, Mookie Wilson." I've met the man twice. The second time was at an autograph signing event. So it was, I think it was $25 just to get online. And then they had I remember there was a little sign to go talk to somebody off to the side if you want it personalized. So I'm waiting online. There's a long line, and you can go to this little area without losing your spot in line. So I went over there. So I just asked the guy. So it says personalized. You mean like to get my name? Like to Tony Mookie Wilson?
Right.
I go, is that what you mean? He goes, yes. I go, so I said, but why do I have to talk to you first? He goes, well, because there's an extra charge for that.
Otherwise, he'd just sign his name.
Right. And that's what I said. So you mean to tell me I can't get him to write to Tony 6 letters along with Mookie Wilson? He goes, right. He goes, that's an extra $25. I was like, son of a bitch. So I said to him, so you know what I did? I said, so it's $25 regardless of the personalization, no matter what it is or how long it is. He goes, that's correct. I go, so whether it's 6 letters to Tony or to Tony Walker, who used to live in Hicksville, now lives in Wantor, maybe stopped at Bethpage along the way, is a big Met fan, has 2 kids and a wife, like, it's still $25? He goes, yes. I get up to the front. I put the picture down. I go, Mook, they told me it's $25 to get it personalized. And he's just looking at me. I go, I'd like you to write to my best friend, Tony Walker. And he goes like this. He goes, you want me to say you're my best friend? Just like that. I go, yeah. I said, I had to pay $25 for a personalization. I said, I want you to write to my best friend, Tony. So that's what he did. But he put it in quotes, to my best friend, Tony Walker, Mookie Wilson. But then I had shorts on, so then I showed him the prosthetic with the Mets thing. And then he warmed up to me, and he actually said to me, we got to get a picture. And
nice.
Yeah, so that's the picture I showed during that video as well, where me and him. He was all friendly after that. He thought that was the coolest thing. But yeah, that's why he wrote to my best friend Tony Walker. And that's actually, and I mentioned meeting Gary Carter twice. The last time I met him, same thing. He was a manager of the Long Island Ducks baseball team, independent league team. And I was on the field with my son's scouts. They were holding the flags for the national anthem. So I had shorts on again, and we finished the national anthem, and the players are getting ready. And I looked towards the bench, and I just happened to make eye contact with Gary Carter. He just I just threw a wave, and he just goes quick. But then I went like this, and I lifted the shorts up to show the Mets thing. His face lit up. He comes running to me, and it was fantastic. We took a bunch of pictures, talked to him for a minute. It was great. That was 2008. And then I believe it was 2009 when he was diagnosed with cancer, and then just basically a steady decline after that.
Right.
But now in between all that, 2003 or 4, you and I went to see Fleetwood Mac. Right. Which you screwed that up, by the way, because we had backstage passes.
Right.
The backstage passes included a meet and greet with the band before the show. But you didn't know that at the time, so we got there in time for the show.
I don't know that now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because, so we went, it said backstage passes were included, VIP.
Yeah.
because you worked for a keyboard company at
Right.
the time. So we went backstage, saw the band like off to the distance, didn't get to meet them, but I'm walking. I'll never forget this. I'm walking around, and I happen to be wearing a collared shirt with the Met symbol right here, and I'm walking around. One of the first people I see back there's Gary Carter.
Right.
Like, what in the
Remember
world?
that.
He's getting some food. I don't even know where you were at this point because you weren't with me. I grabbed some food. We sat together, and this was the same summer. I think it was August or July of 2003 or 4. Gary Carter, just a month prior, got inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Okay.
So it's one of the first things. He saw the thing and came to me and said, "Hey," I'm like, "Gary Carter, Fleetwood Mac, what?" So I just said, "Congratulations on the induction." "Oh, thanks a lot." We sat down. We talked baseball. 5 minutes. I mean, it wasn't long.
Right.
It might have been a little longer, but we talked baseball. We sat there because if you go to Jones Beach, the theater, like the main theater, not the band show where we do our thing, the main theater where the major acts play, it's like another state behind, backstage.
Oh, yeah.
It's huge back there.
Yep.
So yeah. So I've met the man 4 times and had nice conversations with the man 4 times. But yeah, so then after the show, we tried to go backstage again, because it said something on the ticket about meet and greet.
Okay.
And somebody said to us, "Oh no, the band's already gone. The meet and greet was before the show." And we're like, "Oh, son of a!" But their keyboard player was still back there.
Brent Tuggle. Remember him?
Brett Tuggle.
Yeah, he just passed away.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, he
Yeah.
just passed away. He was sick for a number of years.
Right.
But he was big. He was big in the 80s. He played with a lot of hair bands,
Right.
like David Lee Roth after he left Van Halen. That was like probably his big thing. But he played with Fleetwood Mac and Lindsey Buckingham solo for many years. And then so we met him, and
That's
he.
how I got the backstage passes, because he was a customer of the company, of the keyboard
Oh,
company.
okay.
We were supporting his keyboards.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I remember we talked to him really quick. He signed something I think it was the tour program. I like to collect tour programs, so he signed that for me. But he signed it with like a regular pen, so you can't even really make it out what it says. But yeah, no, he's dead. You did tell them 12:30 in New York time, Jeff? I don't know. Maybe you weren't watching at the time. A lady that works for him called at like 11:50, and said, "Hi, I'm so-and-so. I'm calling for Carlos Mencia. I believe we have a phone call set up." And she even asked for Sally. And I said, "Sally's not here." I said, "He'll be talking to me." And she said, "All right, he's going to call around noon." I said, "Yeah, anytime after 12 would be great." She said, "Okay, he'll call a little after 12. I said, "Okay, super. The phone lines are open." I mean, again, she called. It got through.
Right.
So I just think maybe Uncle Louie and Carlos Mencia, maybe they do know each other well, and they just don't like me. And said, "Let's screw up his show today." Sons of bitches.
Did I ever tell you our friend Kenny from one of his stories?
Kenny Forgione, he's been in here.
Has he?
Yeah. In fact, I saw him at one of his gigs over the summer, and he even said to me, "It's been a while. I got to come back in." I said,
Nice.
"That would be great."
Did he ever tell you his McCartney story? He was at a book signing right after he.
Who's at a book signing?
McCartney did a book signing in the city. I think it might have been the poetry book or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So Kenny went to it, and I don't know. I might get this wrong, but Kenny was online waiting to get an autograph, and it was right after he divorced Heather Mills.
Oh, okay.
And everybody online is like, "Oh, Paul, hope you're okay. We got you."
God.
And yeah, exactly. That was his face after a while. Like, "Oh, get me out of here."
Yeah.
Kenny sees this, and so he says, I got to do something different when I get up there." Finally gets up there, and again, I might be telling this wrong, but if I remember it right, he says, "Aren't you glad to meet me?" Paul's like, "Sorry?" He says, "Aren't you glad to meet me?" He says, "I've been waiting 40 years to meet you, man. Where have you
that's
been?"
That's funny.
And he said, I think he even said thank you
Yeah.
for breaking it up like that.
Bosie says because he didn't call in now, he has to do a green room show. Fremder says he's heard Paul McCartney is a heavy douche. Wow. I don't know.
Sure, he can be sometimes, but
Yeah, I bet.
usually not.
Bosie, actually, we're actually not doing a green room show this week, and I'll tell you why. We were leaning towards not doing it anyway because, that I got to tell you guys too. We're not going to be on Monday. I'm working White Post Fall Festival this weekend, as I do every year. This is the 3-day weekend. It's Columbus Day on Monday. So every Columbus Day I work at White Post too. So I have a 3-day weekend at White Post, so I won't be here. So I was leaning towards not doing the green room anyway because I'm on my feet or on my foot all day at White Post, and it's a lot. It tires me out. So I was thinking of just going home tomorrow night and just relaxing and not doing green room. But then I was thinking about doing it because I figured with Carlos here and might be these soap opera stars, maybe something different to get them in here. But then the club, because Carlos Mencia is playing the main room and he's got his green room, the soap opera stars then don't have access to the green room. So governors said, don't do your green room show this week because they're going to use this room as the green room for the soap opera stars who are playing the Giggle room. So so like I said before, I didn't know if they were playing Friday or Saturday. It's Saturday because the soap opera stars are going to be in here using this room as their green room. So I wish I had a way to access the computer remotely, and I would turn on the cameras while they're in here. Although I take that back. If they're changing costumes or something, I don't want to. I just mean to hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
But I hope, because you guys have heard me before talk about what's his name, soap opera guy. He's here a lot. He's from General Hospital. He plays Jason on General Hospital. Steve Burton. Steve Burton. He's come to the club. He's done shows here at the club several times. And we used to try and get him to come in here to promote. And he always refuses to come in here unless he gets paid. So we're like, screw you. And then, sure enough, they let him use this room as a green room the last time I was here, just a month or two ago. And he left his trash in here, just laying around. And I know it was him because certain things, certain pieces of paper that were crumpled up had his name on it. Son of a bitch. So now I hate him even more. So hopefully Fiona Finola Hughes, whatever her name is, hopefully she doesn't leave a mess.
Yikes.
Or if she does take off her clothes, she could leave a picture behind of that. If Christopher Columbus discovered Israel, he would be known as Christopher... what? Where in the... Oh, because I mentioned Columbus Day. Oh, all right. I was wondering why Fremder said that. Oh, and I didn't mention either. Plagano's ain't here today because he got stuck doing some family thing that he didn't want to do. So we'll make fun of him about that next week. All right, yeah, now it's after 1, so we're going to call it a day. Thank you, Uncle Louie, for trying to make it work. Our apologies to them. We both had technical issues on both of our ends, so we saw them quick, said hello. Go see them tonight. Eric Tartaglione's opening. Go get the album 55 by Frank Walker. It comes out Monday? Monday. Go Amazon. Get that on Amazon. So what? So if they get it on Amazon, they get an actual CD?
No, it's download.
Oh, it is download. Oh, right, Amazon. Okay. Go get that. And if anybody's going to see Carlos Mencia, yell at him in the middle of the show, interrupt him, and tell him how it was, it's a load of crap that he didn't call in this show today. If I pay for Carlos Mencia tickets, is he going to show up? Good question. I don't know. Thanks for hanging with us today and waiting all this time to see if this prick would call. So everybody enjoy your weekend. There is Donversations tonight. Don Sill, 8 o'clock. I'll make sure that'll be on the YouTube channel. So make sure you check that out. Maybe I'll throw an old show up on the YouTube channel Monday at 11. One of our old shows or something. You know what? We talked about Bill Champlin. Maybe I'll throw that one up for replay. So everybody have a great weekend. So we won't see you again until Tuesday for Tuesday Trivia. I don't know what he's doing. That's the wrong camera.
Does it come up or no?
That's the wrong camera.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you're doing. Why? All right, but why?
I don't know. I felt like it.
All right, we're out of here. Enjoy your 3-day weekend and enjoy your... Yeah, you're totally messing that up.
Okay.
Enjoy celebrating Columbus Day, however you celebrate that. I don't know. Come to White Post Farms. Do that. All right, everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you Tuesday.